Adventure doesn't begin till I get bloody. It's gonna be a beautiful day full of amazing bright blue jungle waterfalls here in Bajos del Toro, Costa Rica. The Blue Falls Full Tour. Now this tour offers 6 different blue waterfalls in about a 5 or 6 hour hike. So we're gonna be seeing a lot of beautiful spots today. If you stay for a minimum of 3 nights, they include a tour called Blue Falls Light, which is just 2 blue waterfalls. We wanted to go on the full, and so we asked them if they would apply the cost of the light to the full. The full is $50 a person, so it's more expensive, but it's an all-day thing. You get to see a lot more waterfalls, and so they did credit us that $15, so we're paying $35 a person. If I can help it, I don't usually like to go on tours. I like to find stuff myself, but like I said in some other videos, in this area, the rivers and waterfalls are public, but the problem is access. You often have to access through private land. So with that access, it's at the landowner's discretion whether they make a guide mandatory or they just let you pass. So like some of the other waterfalls we've been to, we had to pay for access, but we didn't need a guide. But for something like this, apparently there's some more dangerous spots, so you can't go on this unless you have a guide. So that's why we're paying for the guide, we're paying for the tour to see these waterfalls we wouldn't normally be able to see on our own. Right now, I'm really grateful that we have a guide because we're basically going through some dense jungle. I mean, there's kind of like a use trail here, but it's definitely not an established path. So might have been able to find this with some directions and maybe some GPS coordinates, but I don't know, maybe not. This is one of those dense jungle trails. Maybe it's gotten use from like a panther in the past. There are panthers in Costa Rica. Most likely we're not going to see any today, but you never know. Keep your eyes out. We may see some pizotes, which are like Costa Rican raccoons, or some white-faced monkeys, or howler monkeys are a little more standoffish, so we probably won't see any of them, but keep an eye out for wildlife. Adventure doesn't begin till I get bloody, and there was a slippery spot coming up that last slope. I grabbed this branch that had all these little spikes on it, so that was a pleasant little surprise. That's a pick-me-up right there. They call that a rainforest espresso shot. We're at the first of this bright blue pool. In Spanish, they say celeste, poza celeste, light blue pool. And the interesting fact about Bajos del Toros is there's several hydroelectric dams and plants. And that the creation of those dams and hydroelectric plants are actually what have created these wonderful pools. Before those dams and hydroelectric plants were built, these pools didn't exist. So not only is it benefiting the community by generating a green renewable energy resource, it's also bringing tourism here to see these beautiful blue waterfalls and pools. So that's only the first awesome waterfall of the day. We have like 5 and possibly 6 more amazing waterfalls. We're moving real quick, so we might be able to go above the Himalayas and check out another awesome waterfall that not many tourists have seen at all. Well, I don't know if you guys can tell yet, but this is no ordinary tour. This is a pretty hardcore tour. There's spots where we've had to use a rope, and man, there's spots where we probably should have used a rope, but we didn't. This is awesome. A lot of these waterfalls don't have names. The only ones that have names are the ʻinfəməs or the twins. We haven't gotten to those yet. Blue Falls full waterfall tour, Catarata del Toro. Highly recommend it. They talk about Costa Rica's best kept secret, Catarata del Toro, the waterfall, but then this tour itself is just so fun. Awesome. You got to be in good shape, good footwear, and be prepared to get dirty, get all up in it, get in the jungle. There's not really trails, bushwhacking. It's pretty fun. We finally made it to one of the most popular spots in Bajos del Toro, Las Gemelas. It's two waterfalls right next to each other. Las Gemelas means twins in Spanish. Wow, Blue Falls full, what an amazing day. There are a lot of waterfall tours in Costa Rica, but I have to say this has got to be the best. You're out there, nobody else is at some of these waterfalls. There was a couple of spots where, you know, the ʻinfəməs and the Poza Celeste are actually, their Blue Falls Light Tour just goes to the end there, the last two waterfalls and the Poza, the pool, and so there are a lot of people there because it's easy to get there. All the other waterfalls, nobody else was there, out in the middle of the jungle, beautiful pristine waterfalls with beautiful bright blue water. It's worth 50 bucks. Like I said, we got a discount of $15 because we stayed there for a minimum of 3 nights at the Catarata del Toro guest house. They only have 3 rooms, so I would imagine in high season they fill up pretty quickly. Totally worth it though. This tour is amazing. Off the beaten path. If you get a chance, definitely check it out. You got to be in good physical shape though, because there are some rugged spots. There was one spot actually where he said most people usually use a rope, and we were the first people that didn't use a rope in that spot. So one more day in Costa Rica and then we're taking off the day after tomorrow, like 5 o'clock in the morning. So hopefully some more good stuff coming your way from Costa Rica. Get out there, find your adventure, and be infamous.
Infamous.